What's up, Transformer fans? Welcome to another video review from Patriot Prime. Now, I'm one of these guys that really enjoyed the gimmick era of G1. Back when Hasbro decided they weren't happy with just having a robot that turned into a plane, tank, car, truck, or cassette player, they had to kick it up a notch. And one of the gimmicks was the Powermasters. Now, the Powermasters were these little dudes that actually transformed and turned into an engine. The engine, in turn, hopped inside of the vehicle, which unlocked the ability for the figure to transform. Now, me personally, I thought the process should be reversed. I think the robot would require the engine to attach inside to him, which would enable the robot to transform to the vehicle, which would explain why you have to have the engine in the first place. But hey, that's just me. Now today we're going to review one of these Powermaster characters, and one of my personal favorites just because of the gimmick that he had inside of his gimmick. So welcome to Patriot Prime Reviews, Generation 1, Doubledealer.
You got to know when to hold up, know when to fold up, know when to walk away, and know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done.
Now, Doubledealer was not a popular character as far as the media was concerned. He never once appeared in the old Marvel comic, and he never appeared in animation except in the old Powermaster commercial with Optimus Prime. His main selling point was his gimmick. He was one vehicle that turned into two robots, Autobot and Decepticon. But unlike Punch Counterpunch, who had the same gimmick, he added a couple extra steps by having the Powermasters. A Autobot Powermaster to unlock Autobot mode, and a Decepticon Powermaster to unlock the Decepticon mode. Now, Doubledealer's alt mode is a ballistic missile truck. A 8-wheeled vehicle that, as you can see, rolls really well. The figure comes with quite a few accessories. He has Powermaster Knock, Powermaster Scar, an engine cover, and the missile that actually separates into two pieces. Now, to transform him, he has, as I said before, two different modes. He can either be Autobot or Decepticon. Now, to transform him to Autobot, you need Powermaster Knock, and you have to transform him to an engine. So make sure his arms are down. Flip the legs up. There we go. And so there is his engine. Now he's kind of a plain engine compared to the other Autobot Powermasters because his engine itself is gray plastic instead of the painted chrome. But what you do is you'll place the engine in the engine port on the vehicle. Make sure the head is facing toward the missile. Snap that into place. That in turn unlocks the mechanism to open up the front, which will be the robot's legs. Some very good ratcheting joints there. Split these apart and rotate around to where the little feet are facing forward. Then you will take the top, push these back, like so. It's a little double hinge right here, and bring down the robot arms. Then in turn you will remove the missile. The missile holder is in fact the robot's head. Let me adjust the camera. Now you'll take the missile, separate it into two pieces. The missile part goes on top of the shoulder. There's a peg. And the bottom part, the thruster, becomes his gun. Now you take the engine block and put it up here on his chest. Had it upside down. The peg goes on top. And there we have Double Dealer in Autobot mode. He has no articulation except for at the elbow for his arms, and that's mainly due to transformation. A very good head sculpt. And he's actually fairly decent size. Here we have him compared to, Generation 1 Optimus Prime. So he's a good mini-bot height taller than Optimus. But he's a very well-built figure. Not much kibble at all. You can see the wings of his Decepticon mode. But there we go. Double Dealer as an Autobot. Let's transform him back to the missile carrier, and I'll show you how to do Decepticon. Now, to transform Double Dealer to his Decepticon mode, you will need his Decepticon Powermaster, Scar. Now, he transforms into his engine a lot better. You just simply fold in the bat wings. Now, there we go. Well, nope. You have to fold these a certain way so the engine will actually be flat. But then again, just like with the previous Powermaster, you will put the engine in. The bat head faces toward the rear. Once that clicks into place, that'll actually open up the bottom portion of the vehicle right here. That reveals the wings. So you take the wings out. Let me adjust this where you can see a little better. Unfold the wings. Pull this back piece down, which reveals the vulture head. Turn it around. Remove the missile yet again. Fold these pieces all the way against the body. Pull down and move the vulture feet down. And then you can angle this just so to get him to stand. There we go. Take the missile once again, split it in two. There we go. The bottom of the missile will go underneath the vulture. There we go. And the gun portion can go up top. And there we have Double Dealer in Decepticon mode. The wings can flap up and down, move in and out. Vulture head up and down, turn left, right, and the mouth can open. Limited posability with the legs. You can kind of get him angled, mainly a weight issue. But there we go. You can store the engine cover on the rear of the missile. Now you can do that in the engine truck mode too, but I'm not a big fan of that look. I'd just rather have it off. But there he is in vulture mode. Very brightly colored. I love the look of the purple, teal, and green. And look at the feather details molded in with the plastic. And even on the bird claws, the detail. But there is Double Dealer as a Decepticon. Now I like to pose my Double Dealer on my shelf in Autobot mode because in this mode it's easier to store all of his accessories. You've got the gun, the missile, you can keep the Powermaster in, makes him a nice set of abs, and then on the back he's got this hole where you can transform Scar and slap him back there for a good old 90s style fanny pack. And there you guys have Generation 1 Double Dealer. I want to point out, if you happen to find a Double Dealer out in the wild or get a good deal on one of the eBay that does not come with his Powermasters, you can still transform the figure by looking at his port. If I can get the light in there. And he does have buttons. The first big red button, you press that down. That unlocks the legs for the Autobot mode. Decepticon mode's a little trickier. You would have to get, those are in there, you would have to get a toothpick or maybe a little Phillips head screwdriver to press down, but that would open up the back for Decepticon mode. But it is best to see if you could find one complete. Now, the biggest problem you have with finding these Powermaster figures, whether it's Double Dealer or some of the others, is when the Powermaster itself gets lost. A lot of these get broken because 8-year-old little Timmy didn't like the fact he's missing his Powermaster, was not patient enough to press the button, and they just break these. It's very common to find your Powermasters with broken pegs and locks. Now you have to ask yourself, do I need a G1 Double Dealer in my collection? Well, that depends. He's not a popular character. He was never in the comics. He wasn't in the cartoons, except over in Japan, so he's not very well known. But he's got a very unique gimmick to the toy that you just don't see this day and age. And he looks good on a shelf with those bright collars. Now, I do recommend, if you decide to go hunting one down, try to find one complete with all these pieces and parts. I think a complete one in good condition will run you about $80. So guys, once again, I want to thank you for stopping by my channel and taking a look at my reviews. Give me a like and subscribe. I plan on doing a lot more of these videos. I have a lot of figures back in the back, and I plan on going through each and every one. Guys, this has been Patriot Prime. Hooah! Have a great day.
You never count your money when you're sitting at the table.